Hi, my name is Nellie Gomez. I've been in HR for 15 years and I'm starting my life coaching and HR business. And I wanted to bring you a small gift and to know me a little bit. Tonight, we're going to talk about how important and instrumental an employee handbook is. I made a little presentation for you to get to know me and to know my services. I'm here to help. I've been outsourcing my HR services for the last 3 years, and I'm ready to help you. From small business to big business, I'm here to help you, to partner with you, to make your business grow. You don't have to have an HR person in your office. You can just hire me and I'll be your HR. I can onboard, I can do many, many things. So here we get started. So an employee handbook is instrumental in creating a productive and inviting work environment. We want to have a type of work environment that is career driven and people feel at home, that they can learn all the policies and procedures from the get-go and feel that they're part of your organization from day one. So here we're going to go through a little brief summary of why an employee handbook is important. Whether you are a business of 2 people or larger, it is very important for you to have an employee handbook. The need for an employee handbook. An employee handbook is a compilation of policies and procedures, working conditions, behaviors that your employees must follow. It's their guidebook in how they should follow procedures and policies, just like when we go to learn how to drive. We need a guidebook to get our driver's license. Well, we need a guidebook for each company that we go to. This is basically our guide on the way that we should behave, our culture, our mission, so that from the very beginning, the person feels that they're a fit and that they bring a uniqueness that will be part of your group. So there's 8 reasons your organization should have an employee handbook. The first one is, as I said, introduces new employees to the company's culture, mission, vision, and values. And that is very important because your core values is what makes the strength of the company. And for them to know those core values from the get-go, it will help them get into the culture and get to know people. Number 2, communicates what employers expect of new and current employees. What are you expecting? How do you want the people to act in your work environment? Number 3, informs employees about what to expect from management and leadership. This is very important because then the expectations and all of that is clear from the get-go. Number 4, provides a guide to key company policies and procedures to ensure that they are communicated clearly and consistently. You need to have this guide for them to know how things are done in your company, for them to have this outlined so that they have a book, a guide where they can go back to and make sure that they're following the company procedures. Number 5, it lists a summary of the company benefits that are offered: vacation, holidays, PTO, vacation, PTOs that maybe a long absence, and different things like that that have to do with the benefits, like jury duty or military leave, different things like that. Number 6 is ensure the compliance of federal and state laws. We need to make sure that people in your office know that you comply with different laws like harassment, like discrimination. These are very important because these are laws that are statutes that are put into place by the EEO and Employee Equal Opportunity Act. And these are laws that not just federal, but state as well. Number 7, it defends employers against employee claims. Sometimes you have a discussion or an issue with an employee. Well, they might not know that it's in the employee handbook. And if there's something that happens in the future that you have to go to court, you have your employee handbook that is going to help you and cover you in case there is an issue. Number 8, it enlightens employees on where to turn for help. They might have an issue that's going on. They might have a manager that is not doing their following procedure. They need a place where they can come and ask questions and need help to turn to. So let's look at the first one. New employees' introduction to the culture and mission and values of the company. An employee handbook is vital for the employer to introduce new employees to corporate culture. It ignites and fosters a sense of pride and belonging from the very beginning and through the employment cycle. Studies confirm that the employees become more productive in a shorter period of time when they have these introductions. The introduction section of an employee handbook needs to answer the following questions. What does our company do that sets us apart from our others? How did our company get here? How did we get here? When did we start? When did we begin? And what is the story of why we're there? What is our organization's passion about? What are we doing? Why are we the company that we are? What are we looking for? Like, for example, for me, I want to be a coach and I want to help people with HR because I like helping people. I like helping people go to their goal and reach their goal and partnering with them to be able to see that they have achieved their goals. That's what mine is. Each company has their own organizational passion. Whoever started it for a reason. How can I, as a new hire, become a part of this culture? This will be the part where it ignites and it fosters a sense of pride and belonging. Things that you might do, they might, if you do some things in the community, you help homeless shelters, or you do the various activities that you do in the community. These are things that you might want to show in your employee handbook that someone that is interested in that might find it appealing to them. And the last one is the introduction section sets the standards of the employment relation in general and provides a guideline for remaining policies that are communicated in the handbook. So it's very vital for the beginning that the part of the orientation of the new employee is going through the employee handbook with them. Why is it important to communicate expectations to new and current employees? A well-written handbook provides employees with clear understandings of their responsibilities. Each department needs to know what are the policies and procedures for those departments and the company as a whole. How do we, for example, some companies allow employees to receive gifts like $50 gift card and so on and so forth, but others don't. So those are the type of things that you need to have in the employee handbook so that the employees know what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. The handbook also serves as a compass for the organizational policies and procedures. For example, it advises employees what the procedures are for requesting time off or a vacation. It advises employees who they should contact when they have an unscheduled absence and what the timing should be. Like, you must contact your supervisor within 30 minutes of your start time, or an hour, or you need to give 24 hours. Those are the specifics that you need to put in your guidelines, in your handbook, so that from the very beginning, it's all clear. It tells employees who to go to if they have a question about any of the specific policies in the handbook. Sometimes that person is their direct manager. Sometimes that person is someone in HR. So it's very good to have that clear communication from the very beginning. The handbook also communicates an employee's general responsibilities regarding safety, if you have fire alarms, routine fire alarms, timekeeping, and reporting. By providing clear and accessible information, handbooks ensure companies continue moving into the right direction. We all need to be rowing in the same direction for the company to achieve its goals. Informs employees about what to expect from management and leadership. And an employee handbook provides objectives and leadership styles, as well as management's best practices to foster healthy management-employee relationship. It is very important from the very beginning to form a strong bond and a career-driven type of environment. And that starts with a great relationship with your leaders. And that is instilled from the moment that they read the employee handbook and you go through it with them. They get a very big sense of how things are run. It also outlines the logistics, such as timekeeping requirements, hours of work, and pay periods. It is very important for the new hire to know what are the times. If you are a flexible type of work environment, can they come in since you're, let's say, 8:30 to 9? Can they come in at 7:30 and leave at 4? Those type of specifications are great to have in a handbook. Further, a complete employee handbook advises employees of various entitlements to federal and state leaves, such as Family Medical Leave Act or jury service leave. The FMLA, in some cases, doesn't pertain to companies that are less than 50 employees. But sometimes companies want to provide something similar, even though they don't have 50 employees. That is up to the employer to provide that or not if they don't have 50 employees. Once they have 50 employees, they have to have provide the FMLA. These clearly communicates policies, help to eliminate confusion and inconsistencies that result when handbooks are silent on these topics. So that is very important for people the individuals who start with you. Part of the orientation must be to go through these guidelines. Provides a guide to key company policies and procedures. Ensures that they're communicated clearly and consistently. As I said before, This is very important for them to know how they have to conduct themselves, how from Monday through Thursday, how they're dressed. If on Fridays you decide to have a casual Friday, well, here you can specify no shorts, for example, or no flip-flops, for example, different things like that. Or it can be business casual Monday through Friday. These are the things that you can detail within your employee handbook. And these can be customized. And I can help you go through that. We can brainstorm together and see what are the things that appeal to you. Some things are laws and state laws and federal laws that have to be in the book, and some things are what your policies are going to be. A list of summary of company benefits. This is key because when the employee starts, they need to know what vacations you offer, if you provide retirement plan, health insurance, paid parental leave, how many hours do they have to work to be able to have access to this. Some companies provide these to part-time employees, some provide them to employees after they're full-time, 30 or more hours. So here is a good place to put that specification. Make sure they know about these policies and the eligibility. You know, you have to be able to have medical benefits, you have to be working 30 hours or more. Retirement plans. Sometimes companies require that the employee be there for 6 months or a year before they can start participating in the retirement plan. These are specifics that you can detail in the handbook. Again, ensure compliance of federal and state laws. We have to make sure that everyone that comes in knows that the company complies with all the federal laws, American with Disabilities Act, Equal Opportunity Commission, FMLA, and many more. There is a lot, and a lot of them will pertain to small companies, and some of them only pertain to companies that have a specific amount of employees, 50 or 100 and so forth. But some of them, it doesn't matter if you have 2 employees. And this is very important because the employee handbook also defends employers against any claims. If, for example, there's a lawsuit, someone didn't put in their time and came in late, and you have specific guidelines on when employees are supposed to come to work. What are the times? How long do they have to call in to their manager before they're late or before they don't come in? These are things that might come up that you need to have these details so that if there is a lawsuit in the future and an employee says, you know, they fired me without telling me about their policies, well, you can prove that you have given them an employee handbook by seeing at the last page, usually you have an acknowledgement page where you have the employee sign it and date it. Well, that's your knowledge, that's the proof that they have read it and signed it. So those are the type of things that you can use in a court case when you have fired them for a reason and they have not followed the policy. Well, the policy is in the guidebook, in the employee handbook. And the other important thing is it lets employees know where to turn for help. Let's say they get injured or something happens. Somebody is bullying them and they don't know where to turn. They have to have options. If the person who is bullying them, let's say, is the manager, or the manager is not treating them correctly, or the manager is not following the correct procedures, they have to know that they have another person that they can go to. Normally in the handbooks, we'd say, go to your supervisor or your manager first, and then you can designate other people, for example, HR or another person. These are it's instrumental for this to happen, because if somebody gets hurt at work, you need to have some kind of guideline for them to know who they can contact. Maybe they get hurt while visiting a client. They need to know where to call and how they can find their help. There's many details of the employee handbook, and I would love to sit with you and talk to you more about it. The pricing is customized, and just call me and I will go through it with you, and we can figure out how we can partner and get the best employee handbook for your business and protect you from the very beginning with a guidebook that is instrumental and inviting to your new hires who will want to be part of your organization because of the wonderful work environment that you have created. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you and meeting you. Again, my name is Nellie Gomez, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.